for the General Assembly. You had a huge amount of turnover. And you had a Democrat-controlled General Assembly. The Senate went even. The House became very close. The margins really narrowed. And you had the GOP that was basically declaring that this was a repudiation of Malloy's politics in the Democratic Party. And then you come a couple of years, just right after that, a year later, and you have the municipal election, and you have a lot of Republican-controlled communities that for the first time have seen it flip Democrat in the huge Democrat swing. And you have the Democrat leadership and the Democratic Party saying that this is a repudiation of Donald Trump and the GOP's policies. I don't think it's either. I think that what you're seeing is turnover for turnover's sake, because the electorate is tired of the same old, and they want what we're calling for to some degree, not in how we're saying it, but they want reformers. They want change. They want things done differently. They understand, they're smarter than what elected officials sometimes are giving them credit for, in terms of understanding these huge, serious challenges that are out there, and where we have a lot of times the parties who are digging their heels in to avoid reform, for some of the areas that I outlined earlier. And you even have at times locally people who are digging in, trying to preserve their local identities and that sort of thing. I think you have an electorate that's understanding that we can't do things like this anymore, that we're not competing, that we have to keep up with the times, we have to change, and we have to get some, in their eyes, it's not necessarily what party it is or anything else. I think it's that new blood drain the swamp concept. We want to see people who are going to do something. And that's one of the things, if you even watch in the gubernatorial field right now, I know it's early, but you have people who are doing everything in the world to raise money, to try to qualify for public campaign financing and all that type of thing. And they're all so cautious because they have to appeal to the base of their party to get the nomination. If you're on the Republican side, you got to really appeal to the far right and not upset them or not say anything that's going to tick them off so you can't get nominated. And if you're the Democratic side, you got to make sure you stay really tight to the far left and labor and all of that so you can get that nomination. And I really think that the electorate is in their own way screaming back against all of that and saying, we want somebody who says something. They're looking for a reformer. They're looking for a person who has a plan, not somebody who's just going to be cautious and try to cuddle up to the base.
One example of that I've